George Millar, thank you so much for bringing me to your favourite bar, which
You're
is
welcome, Gary.
Packie's in
Yep.
Donegal.
Yes, that's right. Yep.
And
Um,
I have to ask the obvious question before you start. Anything to do
yeah.
with Packie Bonner?
No, Packie Gallagher's the man. It's the Gallagher of the families, but yeah, not Packie Bonner, no. But certainly a very football orientated pub. Yeah.
And what would it be? It looks from the background there, it looks like he's got all the receipts going back 100 years. He's got all the
Yeah.
original. He's got a till there that's probably from the 80s. Probably a place that doesn't change that much.
It hasn't Gary, it's an old frills, old fashioned pub in Court Point and Lettermack Award in Donegal. Things haven't changed probably in 40 or 50 years. Packie Gallagher is the runner of the bar, but it's just an authentic pub. Sits in a beautiful location, Court Point, overlooking the Great Barra Bay. But it holds a very special place to me because of family reasons. But yeah, it's a great wee pub. Absolutely fantastic pint of Guinness. Yeah, good pint of Guinness.
And for those not overly familiar with the geography of Ireland,
Yeah.
Donegal is pretty much, if it was a square box, it would be the top left corner, wouldn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
And
So
what?
yeah. It's a beautiful location. You have wee Barra Bay there. You have beautiful golden sandy beaches on either side, as far as the eye can see. And Packie's Bar, I suppose it's again, it's just a no frills working man pub, but great pint of Guinness in it.
And it's only when you look out probably the window and you look at the Atlantic Ocean that
Yeah.
you often wonder, how do fellas go and decide, I'll go over to America on a boat on that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We fly and we get a bit of turbulence, but I've been over looking at the Atlantic Ocean on solid land, and my goodness, it's powerful, isn't it?
Yeah. Again, the reason I suppose why I picked this pub, because about 30 years ago, my parents bought a wee cottage right opposite the bar, and they've been going down for years. My family has grown up in there. My children spent every summer there, and the locals sort of welcomed the family in as part of their own. You'll see there, just I just noticed in that photograph the back there. You'll see a little poem there on the right hand side. That's by Seamus Heaney. Yep.
Yeah.
So Seamus Heaney visited the bar and wrote a little poem there about Packie in the pub. So that's on the wall. Also on the wall, you'll see there's a lovely portrait on the bottom of a whiskey barrel of Packie. And beside him on the portrait is my father. My father was a great man for singing, loved to go down and sing and wee hours in the morning over a pint of Guinness with a great rendition of Grace. So, very, very special memories for me and the family.
Well, and we actually spoke off air about how wonderful it is, communication tools that you're
Yeah.
building and digital infrastructure and all the rest of it. It's wonderful and it's great. But also, there's nothing like getting in a room with somebody who just decides to take out a guitar and some other guy
Yeah.
starts singing. It's real human stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's many a night in that bar where it's at 2, 3, 4 in the morning, over a pint of Guinness, having a sing and just getting to know everybody. And it's just that kind of a bar. It isn't, it could have picked bars anywhere in the world, but to
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
it's authentic. It's Ireland. It's just all the good things that I see. And Donegal is one of those kind of places where, as soon as you cross into the county, everything sort of slows down to Donegal time. There's Gannismeen time, but there's Donegal time, and everything just goes at its own pace. It's just, don't worry about it. It'll get done. Just relax, have a pint of Guinness, we'll have a chat, maybe sing a wee song or two, and just chill.
Yeah, it's like something from the 50s, not
Yeah,
2025. But one
yeah,
of the
yeah,
things I must say, the other end of Ireland, in West Cork and Kerry, I do get challenged sometimes, though, George, probably maybe not so much you, with Donegal accents and
hmm
also West Cork and Kerry.
yeah,
They're like, they remind me of dolphins. They nearly sing to each other.
yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a very lyrical way to speak. Yes, yeah, yeah,
And how do you've no problem with that? You're attuned with that northern speak, I guess.
Well, I've been going down to Donegal for over 30 years. My parents bought the cottage. They've actually developed now. They've a large house there. My parents passed away 2 years ago, within 3 months of each other. But we've kept the house. The family have kept the house. I'll be down this weekend, Friday night in Packie's and Saturday night in Packie's having a wee pint. But we've decided to keep that because of the connections within that area. My children, my grandchildren now go down to Donegal, and they love it. And again, you feel very welcome. And so we'll be down tonight or down on Friday night and Packie's having a pint of Guinness. But I've been down that long. It's just,
it's just second nature.
Yeah, it's just the language. Yeah, you just pick it up. Yeah.
And it has to be a good sign, because I know we're not really in the bar. We're virtually there. So we have to find pictures like the one we have here. And it wasn't that easy to find one of Packie's bar. There was there was maximum 10.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
And this is the only one he's not in.
That's right. Yeah. There's not many photographs. Yeah.
So I think that's a good sign.
It's strange because the Guardian done a survey a few years back of Ireland's top 20 pubs.
Yeah.
And there's some really famous pubs in it. There's one in Belfast, the Empire in Belfast, which has the comedy club. There's Packie's there. I think Packie's about 12 or 13. There's no photograph of the bar in the actual article. Every other pub has a picture, but Packie's bar, no article. But he's mentioned, and again, somebody came along and went in for a great pint of Guinness, and I guess that's what it's all about,
Yeah, that's a great place to start. So I'm sure your father was a good singer, so it sounds like you had a few quotes. I'd say there was a few quotes mentioned after a few whiskeys and pints in that bar itself. So is there any particular one that you like and really connects with you?
Well, it's a quote not related to the pub, but Napoleon Hill had a very famous quote: "Anything the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve." And that's the quote that I was in America, going back maybe the 90s, for a sales seminar, neuro-linguistic programming type seminar. You had Zig Ziglar and all these kind of guys were motivational speakers about it. But one that resonated with me. So I also have competed for many years internationally in powerlifting. So when I've won national titles, I've won European titles, I've competed at world level and medaled at world level. And one thing that I see with all of these elite athletes is that they have this real belief in themselves and what they can achieve. And I guess it's something, when you see sports people, they have that belief. It translates very well within business. And it's something as Relinea, as an EOT company, we're an employee-owned company. We're very much engaging with building people's belief up, their confidence up, and hopefully to see them progress on within the company. But it's something I picked out. I also have another business where I work with some elite athletes. I work with Olympic athletes and professional athletes, and I do VO2 max testing and lactate testing, that kind of thing, and sports physiology. And again, it's something, a common trait you see in these people, that they have a real belief in their own ability, a real self-confidence. It's not arrogance as such, but they have this real belief. And again, it's something I've always tried to aspire to have, trying to have that belief in myself, and hopefully encourage others to, build that belief up within them as well.
There's so many things I could ask you about there, but the first one is, and I'm absolutely sure, powerlifting. There was a documentary on Netflix a couple of years ago, Arnold Schwarzenegger's life, and you could watch it or not watch it. And he said so many different careers, but at the end of it all, you see him, and what he's doing is he gets up in his ranch and he's just shoveling the horse manure out of the stable. And he goes back and he says, so what is the panacea of how he said, just be useful. That was it. Whatever you do, be useful. And it was after he'd gone through all these different careers. But to your point about high performance athletes or high performance teams, that's what people should more relate to for their companies, rather than this other thing that's lasted forever as a family. I don't get it. I'll be interested in your own view. Anyone who tells, come and join our family, Well, I know my family, and I'm not sure I even want to join my one. So, but a high performance team,
Yeah.
it's so much better a metaphor, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I've been fortunate in my family. My brother was a swimmer, swam qualified for Olympics. He was an Irish national champion. Broke a record that held for 15 years, 1500 meter swimmer. But again, we're from a family they all seem to be. I'm probably one of the low achievers, but they all seem to be very high achievers. But certainly, it's a common trait, and I think in business, if you see somebody has that talent, and some people maybe not want to go at the same pace, but if you can give them the confidence, and that may be upskilling them, put them on course, but give them that belief, you tend to find that they will progress on. If they don't have the confidence or belief, then they stagnate and
Yeah,
they dwindle. Sometimes they have to go backwards.
yeah,
So it's trying to find that pace for somebody, and trying to build that confidence up. And not everybody's going to be an elite athlete. You have to have obviously the genetics, the desire, the commitment, but you also have to have that belief to be those high achievers, and that's one thing that sets them apart. And I think
mm,
if you can instill that within a company, as a company's ethos or philosophy, they're trying to lift people up. As an EOT company, employee-owned company, I think we try to do that. And I think that that's why the company's is performing so well.
and it's so right. I'm even thinking about sort of what we're in the middle of at the moment with in Ireland with the hurling and the
Hmm.
GAA football and that. I mean, those lads and girls, they're amateurs as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So they have to effectively do like they're being pushed and pushed by people to be a high performance athlete, but they have to work as well. I'm sure you
Hmm.
were the same with your weightlifting and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That really shows that you've got grit and determination as well as talent, right?
Yeah, again, it's the dedication. And as you say, I suppose the funding isn't for most sports. The funding isn't there, and the whole GAA it is an amateur sport, and that's part of the backbone of it. But you're asking people there to perform at the highest level, and I know that I work with a lot of GAA players, football and hurling, and again, they're holding down a full-time job. People have families involved, be farming background, and yet they're trying to come do the performance test, hold down the job, do all the training sessions, and trying to get that elite level. Whereas, certain sports, some sports more than others that, they're amateurs as such, but really they're full-time professional athletes. The fund is available.
That's an interesting combination. A farmer and a high performance athlete. The reason I say that is I'm not a farmer.
Hmm.
I'm a townie, as they call me. But I
Yeah.
took it upon myself a couple of years ago on the worst day that God ever created to go to the national ploughing competition down in wherever it was. And honestly, I was mesmerized. A, by the technology. That's the first thing that they use. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I sat in on a farming 101 type session, right? And if you ever wanted to get a lesson on do the right things at the right time with the right tools, you will get the right crop and take the dock leaf out when you see it. I was amazed that these guys understand about process. They understand about all of that. It was nearly like a Harvard degree on, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
all what you don't need to be very technical. You need to turn up. You need to learn from other people's mistakes. You need to plant at the right time. You need to harvest at the right time, and you need to take up the weeds and
Yeah.
repeat.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was
Never ending
absolutely,
process. Yeah.
I was amazed at the process that you can
Mhm.
learn from this. So a pint
Yeah.
that has the best pint or one of the top 20 pints in Ireland. Dead or alive, door opens up. Who is it? Who would you love it to be?
So it was between two people, both called Jimmy, Hendrix or Page. So I'm a king guitarist, so I've got too many guitars probably, but that's one of my downfalls. But it would be probably Jimmy Page. I'm a born in the '60s, so I'm a bit of a Zeppelin fan. So it would probably be Jimmy Page. I read the books, the stories, the parties. So it'd probably a good night's crack. But it probably hopefully a good jam session. That's what I'd be hoping for. A good guitar session with Jimmy Page would probably be ultimately, yeah.
Are you
That'd be the dream.
acoustic, electric, or
I
everything?
play, yeah, so I originally played classical electric or classical guitar, so that was all, Bach, Fernando Store, all that kind of stuff. But I have 7 guitars now, and that's a mixture of acoustic, classical, Les Pauls, Jacksons, all kinds of guitars. So 7 guitars a minute, but it's a mixture of all kinds of music, yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah.
If I might say, George, you need your own show. You should be the host. High performance athlete, successful businessman, building houses all over Donegal, guitar player. Jesus Christ, man. There's a Netflix documentary about the life and times of George Millar.
I wish there was. I wish it was that interesting, Garry. I wish it was that interesting.
But isn't it funny? Isn't it funny though? And we spoke about it, and many do. You think you're not interesting until you actually start talking about it, and then you go, and somebody else says, "So you're an X, you're a Y, and a Z," and yet all day we doubt ourselves, and yet all day long we remember the negative thing, right? The one thing that went wrong, and yet what we should lean in is, well, I can play D, A minor, E minor on 17 different bar frets. Wow, that's just amazing. For somebody else, that's just amazing.
Yeah.
So again, tell somebody they can believe it, they can see it, and they can do it. That's the. There's so many metaphors in all the things that you've mentioned. It's been short, sharp, but I think we've covered an awful lot of ground. And I really thank you for your time, because us baldies need to stick together, I find, and if we won't promote each other, who will?
That's right, yeah. Keep it smooth, keep it shining, that's what I'm saying.
Keep it smooth, keep it shiny, keep it real. George Millar, thank you so much for your time. It's been a blast.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Garry. Thank you, appreciate it.